Well, joining me is John Whittingdale, who was Mrs Thatcher's political secretary while she was sort of at the height of her powers. And to be honest, she probably would have welcomed that criticism. She would have liked a robust argument in the Commons.
She expected it and she enjoyed it. One of her strengths was that she always used to test arguments by vigorous debate. And certainly she gave no quarter in the House of Commons, and I think that she would not expect to be given any particular dispensation in a debate like the one we're having this afternoon.
What concerns do you have about potential protests? We've seen some protests already, but we are going to have this huge occasion with the funeral. Do you have any fears that that might provide a platform for protesters?
Well, I think those who would want to do that will be a tiny minority. The vast majority of people, even if they disagreed with her, recognise some of her achievements. Simply things like becoming the first woman ever to become Prime Minister and then to go on to be such a successful Prime Minister. And so there will be people who want to pay their respects for those achievements. And I think those who display a sort of vitriolic hatred are in a tiny minority. And I don't believe that they will be allowed to mar that day.
What about cost? Lady Thatcher was a famously frugal person. Do you think she would have just wondered about all the money being spent on her funeral?
Well, I mean, I think she also believed very much that, in her country, and she would want people to have the opportunity to pay their respects. As I understand it, some of the cost is being shared with her family, but this is...
Is that a 50-50 share, do you know?
I don't know what the exact arrangement is, but this is an important national day, and I think it isn't just important for people living in this country. I expect that there will be leaders from around the world who want to come to London to pay tribute to what she stood for, and it's right, obviously, that we allow that to happen, and it will mean inevitably that there has to be a lot of security and a lot of preparation.
You were, as I say, a political secretary when she was sort of at the height of her powers. I mean, what was it like working with her?
She was very demanding. She was very tough. If she didn't think you had done something well enough, she would not hesitate to tell you. But she was also very defensive of her own personal staff. She didn't allow anybody else to criticise them. And she also showed enormous personal kindness. If ever somebody who worked for her had a personal problem or a loss or anything, then she would be the first to express sympathy, to come and comfort, and occasionally displayed enormous generosity.
Did you feel, I mean, were you able to say, actually, Mrs Thatcher, I don't think that's right, I think you've made a mistake there, or was it such that you just shied away from
No, certainly not. I wouldn't have been doing my job. I did a number of times say that I didn't think she was right, but she used
to... And you survived?
Well, just. But what she expected is that if you disagreed with her, then you should be prepared to argue your case, and she would test it by arguing back. Now, that could be quite intimidating, but if you stood your ground and if you put up a good enough argument, then she would listen and she would take account of it.
Very last thought, there has been a suggestion there should be some sort of memorial in central London. Do you think there should be?
Well, of course, she has a statue in central lobby, in members' lobby rather, of the House of Commons. It was Parliament that she cared about passionately, and I think the fact that her statue is in the members' lobby opposite the entrance to the chamber of the House of Commons is exactly what she would have wanted. Whether or not other memorials go up, I think, is a matter for a number of different individuals, but the fact that she is in Parliament already, I think, says enough for itself.
Okay, John Whittingdale, thanks so much.